afternoon. It's coming up to 5 o'clock. A very happy new year. You're listening to 1197 RPH Adelaide. We're also on the net, www.rphadelaide.org.au. And if you're lucky enough to get a digital radio for Christmas, you'll also find us there on your digital display. Peter Greco. As I say, Happy New Year. Welcome to LeisureLink for 2016. On the program today, we'll catch up with Louise Bond talking about cycling, Santo Bongiovanni talking power chair football. We'll speak to Nadia Mariazzo, who's been refused entry into a taxi having a seeing eye dog. We'll speak about the Deaf Games with Johanna Plant. We'll also speak to Amit Ahmed. He's visiting Australia as one of the members of the English blind cricket team. We'll also catch up with the South Australian team's performance at the National Blind Cricket Championships with Mark Haskett. Darren Johnson will join us, talk about cyclists on footpaths and a survey that's been conducted there from the Royal Society for the Blind. We'll also hopefully get to Melbourne and talk about wheelchair tennis. And Christy Foster will join us, taking part in the Sydney to Hobart yacht race on the boat called Kale. Well, of course, the Tour Down Under is a very big event in Adelaide, and there's a few associated events that opportunities are given to people in the community. Louise Bond has ridden in such an event. Louise, thank you for speaking to us.
Pleasure to be with you again, Peter.
Now, how many times is this for you in the community ride?
I think this is number 6 for me.
Terrific. And how did it go this year?
I had a fabulous time, as always. Riding with friends, and as a team, we fundraised for the Cancer Council, so yeah, it's been a fantastic week.
Now, where did the riders go this year as far as this community ride went?
The community ride started at Norwood and finished at Victor Harbour, but there were several points along the route where riders could join in. And
for you, whereabouts did you take up the ride?
Friends and I, we started from Galway to Victor, which is not a particularly long ride, but then we rode back to Galway. So all in all, we rode about 50 k's yesterday, which was a comfortable ride.
Well, I think probably that'd be testing most people. I guess someone who's fit as you are, probably, as you say, a comfortable ride. Now, it's an interesting story. We've chatted to you before. You've certainly had to overcome some hurdles to ride in this event, haven't you? Some health challenges.
Yeah, I started cycling after a cancer diagnosis in 2009. And, yeah, the prognosis wasn't good, but along the way, I took up cycling as being a proactive maybe takes a bit of control back over my life, and it's getting better and staying better. So it certainly had an impact on my life. I'm still here, so I've passed my use-by date, and I attribute some of that success to some really good exercise, such as cycling.
And you think part of it is also, I guess, psychological and emotional, not just the physical benefits of cycling, but B, as you say, also taking a bit of control of your life or having some sort of influence on your life yourself?
Absolutely. I took up cycling initially for the physical benefits. Like research showed there was a correlation between resistance exercise and coping with cancer. And what I didn't anticipate was the mental benefits. Certainly when I go out cycling, if I'm having a bit of a rough day, I can jump on my bike, go for a ride, and come back a couple of hours later. My problems are still there, but they're more manageable. So endorphins kick in, you just feel good. So definitely, from a mental perspective, there's a lot of benefits, but also social benefits. I had to give up work partway through my cancer treatment, and that was like instantly my social life changed. It was cut off. But when I took up cycling, it filled that void. I met some wonderful people through cycling from all walks of life, and I've got a new social circle, and I've got some great new friends, so I'm in a very good place.
Terrific. Now, as you said, diagnosed in 2009 or treatment in 2009, and it hasn't necessarily been all smooth sailing since then. You've had a few challenges put in your way since your initial diagnosis.
Yes, it's been a roller coaster ride. The first 18 months is probably the hardest, and then since then just little hiccups have come along the way, and in the last 3 years, there's been one lymph node that's given me a bit of grief, and it flared up again September last year. So I knew exactly what was happening, and this time it meant surgery, and they got rid of it. So now I figure there's nothing there that can give me any grief now. But the surgery knocked me around a little bit. It took me quite a few months to recover from, and consequently I wasn't as fit as I would like to have been for the Tour Down Under this year. But I was really happy that I could just ride that short distance and joining the atmosphere. It's a fabulous event in South Australia.
Well, September wasn't that long ago, so you've done well to be able to ride 50k. So what, 3 or 4 months after reasonably major surgery?
Yeah, it was major surgery. It was a little bit trickier than they anticipated. But, I don't know why I thought I'd be back on the bike in 2 weeks. But it was more like 6 weeks. And, I lost a lot of fitness in that time, so I had to build up slowly. But getting there, I'm almost back to where I was. And fingers crossed, if I have a good year here, I'll ride a bit further in the next tour down under.
Terrific. And Louise, I guess the fact that you were pretty fit, had been riding, had been looking after yourself when you went into that surgery, that probably gave you a better chance to come through in a good way as well?
I think so. I'm certainly fitter for this surgery than I have been for any other. And, despite it being a slow recovery, it was probably faster than perhaps it would have been had I not been fit.
Yeah, I guess too slow for you, but as you say, if it was another person going through similar things, they probably would have been delighted to have recovered at the rate that you did.
Oh, I was just so pleased I could actually take part. Probably a month ago I was having a few doubts whether I would be able to. And then once I reached a level of fitness, then it just seemed to take off. And, felt the confidence to ride hills again. I did ride like crazy last week, which is through the Adelaide Hills, and quite comfortable with that challenge. So I was ready for tour down under. And, I just had an absolute ball. Even riding the short distance is still a lot of fun. In fact, yesterday, Paolo Bettini, who's an Italian cyclist, and he's the guest at the Legends Dinner tonight, he wanted to ride yesterday, and because of commitments, he couldn't do the long ride, so he joined in at Broad, and I got to meet him, and it was a fabulous moment. So it's little things like that that make the tour special.
Terrific. And I guess one of the other highlights of an event like this is the dinner that you're going to tonight.
Yes, the Legends Dinner, it's always a highlight. It's just cycling royal everywhere. It's a celebration of cycling. It's a fabulous night, it really is.
And you probably didn't know much about cycling, and I guess the thing that goes around it when an event like this is on until you actually started riding yourself?
No, it was just, I never really considered cycling as a sport for me. I just thought it was something other people do. I thought one day I might buy a bike and I'll do it when I've got more time, when the kids are older, when I retire. I don't know that it actually would have happened if it hadn't been for the cancer. So there has been some good stuff to come out of this cancer journey, and my only regret is that I didn't start cycling years ago.
Well, hopefully you'll cycle for a long time, so that the time that you didn't do it will be made for at the end of your life, if you like. So you're going to live a long time to still be able to cycle for a long time to come. Louise, what about the bikes that you use? Has it been the same bike every year, or have you upgraded, updated?
I've had when I started cycling, I bought a mountain bike and was just riding around the dirt roads at home and through the paddocks. And then when I joined in the tour down under, I used to think a long distance ride was 4 kilometres. But when I built up to 20 kilometres on the mountain bike on dirt roads, I thought, well, I could do 30 k's on a road bike in the tour down under, and that's sort of where it all started. And so I borrowed a road bike for the tour down under, and I just got hooked. So then I had to go and buy myself a road bike. And I've got a Malvern Star OPC6, which is a full carbon frame, and I just love it. And it's taken me probably some 15,000 kilometres for the last few years, and hopefully there's another 15,000 yet. But I just love it.
Yeah, a lot of people might even go that far in their cars. That's certainly a testament to, I guess, your commitment and your fitness as well.
Yeah, it's a change in lifestyle. I had to find some form of sport or activity that I could do long term. I'm not a gym girl. It wasn't going to happen long term. The cycling just struck a chord with me. I love the rhythm, the freedom, the conversion of energy to distance. I love the social aspect of it. Anybody can do it, young, old. So it just ticks a lot of boxes.
And what about your medical practitioners? Are they on board, if you like? Do they sort of see the benefits and the positive effect it can have on you?
I think that they see the benefits now. No one actually, it was actually a friend that encouraged me to find some sort of resistance exercise. The doctors were certainly happy for me to cycle when I started cycling. And then I think as I went through treatment, they saw how well I was coping with chemo and surgery and all the rest that I've had. and they say don't stop cycling. So, the evidence is there to say there's lots of benefits.
They might be ride a bike on their next prescription.
Yeah, well, that I think will be the next visit. Doctors will begin to prescribe exercise. It's really an important part of coping with cancer and recovering from cancer, and perhaps even more importantly, preventing cancer or helping to prevent it.
Yeah. Louise, it's a positive story. Enjoy the evening tonight. Thank you for sharing it with us. And, it'll be great if we can catch up with you next year. And, yes, if you do ride a bit further, it'd be good to let people know that you've done that as well.
I'd love to talk to you again next year, and certainly looking forward to tonight.
Thanks, Louise.
Thanks, Peter.
Louise Bond there, diagnosed with cancer some 7 or so years ago, and since then has ridden in 6 of the community events that the Tour Down Under puts on, and Louise being a great survivor of cancer and helping, or certainly bike riding or an exercise helping her as far as her recovery goes. A very good positive message there. Come out very